Hello everybody, how you doing? Hope everybody's doing fine, I really do. And we're going to get into this video here in just one little second. Hope you like the new intro, and this is what we're going to use from now on. So much love, fasten your seatbelt, and let's get her going. Hello everybody, how are you? Hope everybody's doing fine, I really do. Okay everybody, in this particular video that you're seeing, these two videos that you're seeing, the top one was the second video and this one was the first video. This explains the website page that's called Magnitude Earthquake 6.0 and greater since the 1900s. Also tells you about the ones of cancer, heart disease, diabetes, all of those different diseases that's happened and grown since the 1900s. I'm republishing this. I found it on the Wayback Machine because these two videos was on the original Tattooed 1009 that is no longer with us anymore. And just so you know, this is the Wayback Machine, and you can come here to watch this video. This one gave me a few glitches. You may be able to get it to play for you, but it wouldn't play right for me. But that's just me. Sorry about it's the 4th of July, y'all know that, and there's still fireworks going off at 10:20 at night, which that's fine. I just want you to know what the noise is. But anyway, I want everybody to enjoy the videos, and it's needed to be republished because I wanted all of you to know that I have been doing this about electrical energy for a very long time on YouTube and in life in general. So please enjoy the videos, please share it, and please get the information out. And Dutch was running across some things tonight in his video that he put up that coincides with this information that I've put up, and I don't know if he's connected the dots with it yet or not, but maybe he has. But with that, much love to y'all. Y'all have a good evening now, you hear? Hello everybody, how y'all doing? You know, I made a video last night explaining this page because of, this right here. Watch the videos for the rest of the explanation, right? Well, I could go into some more detail and show you that the video doesn't have near as many views as the page does, but I'm not going to do that this time because I did that in the last video, and you get the drift. For me just to explain it to you, you understand, okay? Well, one of my people that follow me or watch my stuff sent me a link today, and that was Awake. They sent me this. Well, that enthused me even more, okay? So I had to go do some more search. Well, now this is just showing you from 1900 to 2010 that a massive rate of cancer, okay? But now let's come back up here to this little chart right here. Now, as you can see, this is the electrical energy that we use, and from the 1900s, how it has rapidly grown across the board. This right here, and what I have told you, and what I'm fixing to show you, in my personal opinion, yet again, they talk about climate change. This is your climate change. It's man-made, right? They're right. It is man-made, but it's not carbon, something they can tax you on. It's their own design to destroy you in an aspect, because that's basically what they're doing, and that's straight up. Here's another electrical grid power range here that I found. Look at that, 2008, how high it is. You see it,
steadily driving up from, this is from 1992. This don't even go back that far. And look how it's changed. 1989 it starts. Bad. That's when most of us started having that Wi-Fi swap over to what? 2.4 gigahertz microwave frequencies on a lot of different things, and got worse as time went on. Real bad. And then heart attacks. It tells you all of them up here. It shows you the chart from the 1900s as it rises. Now, the ones of you that are old enough can remember that cancer was not near as bad like in the 60s. I mean, it was around, don't get me wrong, but not near as bad as it is today. And here's another health chart from 1990, 2001. Look at it. Zoop. Now, look at this one. Tornadoes from 1915 to 1995. I think this is enough to actually be enough for what? A Nobel Prize. Wouldn't you think? Didn't Al Gore do that by going up there and doing some filming with watching the glaciers melt? But see, what he was doing with his global warming and this climate change is all crazy crap, because they're creating it to happen. To tax you on the air you breathe. Isn't that convenient, folks? This is not a climate change video. It ain't. It ain't got nothing to do with climate change. It's got to do with electrical energy and what has created the earthquakes to rise in such a fashion. I mean, y'all have already seen most of this page. What I added, I just showed. But can't you see where I'm coming from here, folks? I mean, this is as much proof as you can possibly get. Now, if the rest of y'all want to go around and look, make sure you be careful with the real conspiracy of climate change or global warming charts. You got to make sure that it's not coming from one of those particular sites, because they got a bunch of them. They all read different. So I would go to one or look them up. Make sure you get the right ones. But the climate change ones are pretty bad. But as y'all see what I'm showing you right here, and then right here, and what we've seen in earthquakes of 6.0 and greater right here, that's enough. How much more do we need to actually shut them down with what they're giving us and the line of crap that they're lying to us about? It's coming from electrical pollution, magnetic pollution, microwave, all of it. High voltage power lines coming from fluorescent light bulbs. In fact, fluorescent light bulbs, folks, they're 110 bulbs, okay? But they have a transformer in them that transfers the 110 into high voltage. It does. I think it's, the next time I look at a transformer, which will be next in a couple of weeks, not this week, but the following week, I've been working on changing out some bulbs and putting LEDs in them. I'll look at the exact voltage for you and tell you what, it goes from 110 to whatever the transformer is. And those transformers as well, even though they're not very much amperage, That's what makes a fluorescent tube light up, is the higher voltage, okay, to illuminate the bulb. Well, that illumination of that bulb is a frequency, high voltage frequency. What do we say about high voltage frequency? Now, it may not be the same as a high voltage power line because it's not got near as much amperage. You understand? It's nowhere near, not even close, but it's still high voltage. You get me? So it's still transmitting that frequency at you. So when I find out, I'll let you know for sure. Some of them, they vary in voltage. And I don't know what a household, them little screw-in ones that they got, them are all goofy-looking little things that it's hard to plug in. But folks, this right here is enough to show you, to tell you, for you to understand. And the way I said it last night in that long video I made, and this is a recap because I told you I could keep talking last night at the end. And this is, I could do the same thing with this one again. I mean, it's a damn shame that this is happening to us, folks. And we don't, no one's ever said anything about this, as far as I know, like this, and went to this detail. Now, I'm not saying I'm no damn genius, because I ain't. And I'm not taking credit for everything that I've done here. But I'm taking most of it because I'm the one that started it, and I'm the one that said it. I'm the one that put up the video. I'm the only one that's put up a video on it, as far as I know, about this. About electrical energy taking your rights away, or your livelihood away. Maybe giving you some sort of cancer, or what is it, diabetes type 3 diabetes, where you're being inflicted with electrical energy, causing you to have symptoms of diabetes. Now, can I prove that? No, but the video I did about it, the website I did about it, it is pretty interesting. And the person that was talking in there was supposed to be a doctor. That's the only reason why I got posted. Now, whether they were or whether they wasn't, I didn't go that deep. But, you know, you only have so much time a day that you can do this. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to try to make this no longer of a video, folks. I just wanted you to see for yourself, again, that there is just more proof. And I mean, there's hundreds of these charts, folks. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cancer levels going up with nothing more than the electrical energy is going up as well. The electrical power grid that we use, the powers that we use going up. Here's a graph showing you from the 1900s how the electrical goes up. We started out with telephone and telegraph and auto. I don't know what they got auto for. I don't know what that really means. But as you see, the electrical energy, and they got all kinds of different funky stuff, air conditions, color TVs, computers, cell phones, internet, VCRs, microwave ovens, dishwashers. All of this is on this little chart. But this right here gives you the U.S. electrical grid. So you can actually see it for yourself that it's went up, just like I said. I mean, you got to know from the 1900s, we had very little electricity. We had very little cancer at that time. We had more heart disease then than we had cancer. But now we have as much cancer as we do heart disease. People back then died generally of heart disease. not cancer. Now they're dying of cancer and heart disease. So with that, folks, I hope you really get what I'm trying to say here. And I really hope you share it. And I know some of you have, and I do appreciate it, especially the webpage. But I know you're coming over here watching the video. That's a whole new ball game and a whole new ball of wax. So with that, from my cold dead hands, abolish corporate government for your freedoms. I damn well mean that, and I hope you do too. Much love to y'all. Y'all all have a great day. And remember, corporate government is all greed. Much love.
Hello, everybody. How you doing? First off, I want to wish everybody, I hope that everybody got what you wanted for Christmas, and Santa Claus was good to you. Next thing is, for the ones of you that like me, dislike me, or hate me, the same thing. And then you're seeing a chart of earthquakes from the first one that you're seeing here is from 1900 to 2012. And they're from 6.0 to 6.9 magnitude quakes. And you know, for a lot of years, all of you out there know that I've talked about electrical energy. Just electrical energy, along with heart power, CERNs, magnetic frequencies, the whole 9 yards. Okay? Now, what am I telling you when I show you this chart? Well, as you can see from the 1900s on up, that we've have a great big difference. Do you see that? Starting around the major point of coming up is around 1928, 1924. We start seeing it coming up. Then we have a little drop off around 44. But then from 48 on up, it keeps rising. The little ones get bigger, and the bigger ones are more frequent. Do you see this? Now, what happened around this time, in this era? Let's see, we barely had electricity in the 1900s. Did have some. But we only had it in certain places and certain areas, right? Right. Now, what does that mean? Well, look, folks, this is my opinion. That's all it is. But it has basis of fact behind it. Okay, but it's still my opinion. In fact, every person that talks to you about earthquakes and everything else is somewhat their opinion. But when I tell you what I'm going to tell you, it's really going to blow your mind. There's going to be a video when you get through reading this. Okay, if you want to read it now or on the page, whatever. It's going to be the video. It's going to be this one. Now you can see on this chart up to 2013 how it raises from what, about 1944, somewhere thereabouts. Okay, 49. It right there, first one. Boom, boom, boom. Now it shows it's coming down here in 2013. But that's not entirely all there, because we're beyond that now, aren't we? Like right here, 2014, 13 finally did go back up. See there? Come down a little bit, but as you see, from way back here, from 1900 all the way across, 6.0 and greater, up, up, up. It tells you the chart of the colors, what the chart means, what magnitude, what strength, the whole 9 yards. If you're having trouble reading this, you can click on the photo and it will blow up a little bit bigger. If you need to make it bigger, then make your browser bigger to see it. I would do that for you in this video, but it's too hard to adjust and get everything right, and this damn program don't let you adjust in this particular mode I'm in. I can edit it that way, but then it screws up sometimes, so I don't want to do that. This is another one that's just another chart showing you. Okay, it still hasn't come down beyond this point. What year was that? 1989 and 88. That was weird. You know, I talk about electrical energy, right? Let's look at all of these, okay? So you can just get a glimpse of what they look like yourself. You can see all charts that I could find from all different aspects, from USGS, the whole, sorry, got the hiccups, from everywhere you want to imagine they came from. The ones I could find that was good enough to put up here. Now, to prove my theory to y'all, in my opinion, this is a volcano, is it not? Erupting. What do you see in this volcano, folks? What do you see? What is that right there? That's a lightning bolt, is it not? Now, this is coming from the energy that's coming out of this volcano. That's energy buildup of electricity coming from the magma, all the sparks and metals and different ores that's coming out of the ground, all types of everything that's in the ground coming up, creating a bolt of lightning. Now, let's see. Electrical energy has a ground. When it says ground, what does that mean? It means it goes to ground, which is the earth. Do you understand? Goes to ground. Now here's another one for you as well. Are you seeing this? That's electrical energy that you're seeing right there. Even though this is a massive volcano erupting, that's electrical energy, electrical power. Where's electrical power coming from? Coming from the ground. It's coming up, blowing up out of the ground, and then going back to ground. You see that? It's hitting the ground. And here's another one. Now, people have their preference to say that the sun can cause earthquakes. I've said it before myself. Why do I say that? Well, the sun is just like a volcano in an aspect. Not the same, but in an aspect. When it sets off a CME, it has electrical energy with it as well. Space is full of energy as well. Everything is full of energy of some sort. Tapping into it is a new scenario for the world. And that's when we come to the point of where you talk about HARP, radio frequency. You talk about radio frequency. You talk about high voltage power lines. In fact, let's go over here. All right. This is a high voltage power line. I think it's 23,000 volts, maybe 48,000, depending. Okay. It's a lot of high voltage. Okay. And it's got some good amperage behind it as well. I don't know exactly what the amperage is, but anyway, really, it's not, you know, heads or tails. That ain't what we're talking about. It's the frequency. We've told y'all multiple times that our cell phones is done with microwave frequencies, which is bad for human life. Okay? You know that. But now you got this big coil right here. That's an insulator to keep this from going into the tower and going down the tower into the ground and shorting out the line. Okay? It's a big ceramic insulator to keep it. It's metal at the top, and then the whole rest of this is just ceramic. There's no metal inside, as far as I know, to hold it together. And if it is, the two metal ends don't touch. Okay? Now this is an insulator. But it still has a connection because you can't run a continuous, steady line over the miles this is running because they can't make the wire long enough to do that. They might make 500 feet or maybe longer, depending on the spool and how big the wire is. They might be able to get 1,000 feet, let's just say. But still, you got a joint there. Okay? Now with the wind blowing on this line, okay, and even though it's thin, all right, it's a wind catcher. It's like a sailboat. It catches the wind. It moves them lines back and forth. Not by a whole lot, but they move. Anytime you got a joint, including the joint where it's tied onto there, hooked up, it will eventually tear the insulation on the wire or crack the insulation, and then you get leakage in the line. In other words, let me explain this to you too. All electricity is a frequency. It transmits a frequency, no matter what it is. Okay? It doesn't matter. It's a frequency. It's a radio frequency that you can hear on a radio. Okay? Maybe some of you remember when you had old AM radios in your car, some of you older people. You get too close to a power line of some sort and your radio would get all staticky. Well, that static was nothing more than electrical energy that you was hearing coming off of a power line that had a leak. In other words, it had a loose connection somewhere and it was causing an intermediate short. In other words, it was losing contact, making contact, and it was making a frequency back and forth. So it was going zzz, and you could hear that in your radio, not being able to hear your radio station. Okay? Now at the same aspect, you got that, all right? You got all of that. You got this high voltage power line. And now let me tell you this. Depending on how, what, when, and how
The frequency of this tower is never going to transmit the same frequency, ever. It's transmitting at frequencies that no one has a radio or a receiver for. Frequencies that we haven't even discovered yet. Like microwave is very harmful to you. Okay? So if microwave is harmful to you and you can cook your food with it, all right, at 1500 watts in your microwave oven. Now, think about what this 28 to 48,000 volt power line is doing when it's transmitting on a frequency that we don't even know what it can do. Let's see, didn't I tell y'all about the school in 1979 or 78 where the little kids got sick and leukemia and 3 different types of cancers? Yeah, I did. I told you all of that. Now, does that mean that this frequency is doing the same thing? No. What I'm telling you is we have more high voltage power lines now than we've ever had. We also have more radio transmitted frequency. In other words, man-made frequency besides these towers, but man-made at a certain frequency, a stable frequency. This is not a stable frequency at all. It varies from one frequency to another constantly, depending on the wind, depending on the rain, depending on the atmosphere pushing the lines around, whatever the case may be. It's a radio transmitter. Are you listening? It's a radio transmitter with no set frequency. In other words, it's random. It goes where it wants to. And to make matters worse, it's way above ground. Some of them towers are 150 feet tall. So they're transmitting, and they're transmitting over a long period of way. They go from tower to tower to tower to tower, and they're all connected. It's not like an antenna system like we have for radio. If they was to turn these into antennas, holy smokes, you got me? In other words, they turn the electrical energy into a complete frequency only and transmitted that through those lines. Now, there's some folks that have already mentioned that they're not going to mention anything about talking about HAARP about this particular situation. Well, why aren't you? Well, for one of the reasons why I just told you. They're not going to mention it because they don't want you to know about all of that. And they're just not going to let you do it. That's like this. This is what you get. You see the arc? That if you had a radio and you was listening to it, you would hear that static. You would hear that. You would hear that static in your frequency. I mean in your radio. You would hear it. It would sound like a buzzing sound. And that's all you could hear. If you had a meter on it to show you the incoming signal, it would be pegging it out. That's how strong it would be. It wouldn't be weak at all. You wouldn't be able to hear the radio station that you were listening to through this. That's what I'm calling when I say leakage. But that's a massive amount of leakage. Okay? You don't hear it like that constantly. But you can hear it when it does that. And you would hear it even more. That's like some of you guys out there that know a little bit about radios. I'll explain it to you in another way. They have this electric fence for cows and livestock, to keep them in their fence, to keep them from knocking the fence down and getting out into the road and stuff like that, right? Well, what happens is, I've heard this hundreds of times about radio operators talking about, I got this noise. So what does it sound like? And I say, and I say, well, what's around you? One of the guys told me, he says, well, there's a small farm. I wouldn't say it's a farm, but he's got a couple of cows and a couple of horses, and he's got a little small thing there and a couple of goats and this and that. I said, have you ever noticed any of them little yellow insulators over there? He said, yeah. I said, well, won't you go over there and ask him if you can walk around his yard and see if you see any grass touching that little metal wire that's coming around. Well, he did. And when it would get on the grass, it made a complete ground going to ground. So it would make that frequency. And it was showing up in his radio and made it hard for him to hear at times. That's basically what I'm trying to tell you here, is what you're seeing is the same aspect. Do you understand now what I'm trying to explain to y'all? Magnetic frequency began in the early 1900s. And as you see, not to say that it's HARP and CERN and just those things by themselves. It's with all aspects of electrical magnetic frequency that is created by man. It's also, if we did the same study of what we're doing right now with the cases of heart disease, with lung cancers, all kinds of cancers that they blame on cigarettes. You started this in the 1900s and you went from here to there. I bet you money, I'll bet you 5,000 dirty socks from right here to right here, it would have the same uptick just like that. Why? Because it's coming from frequency. They're not going to tell you that, and they're going to keep you away from HARP. They're going to keep you away from CERN. They're going to keep you away from electrical energy. How do I know this? Well, let's see. Let's go over here and let me show you something. Okay? Now, here is high voltage power line. 26-minute video. Me explaining to you just like I'm doing. And me talking about it in several different videos here in the last week. Look at the views. That look familiar to y'all? Look at this one. Now let's go down here a couple of days. Does that look better? For somebody that's got 26,000 and some odd subscribers. Yeah, this looks normal. Does this look normal to y'all? No. Does this one look normal at all? With 46 thumbs up? Really? Are you shitting me? Does it look normal to you? No, it doesn't look normal, folks. Is it being censored? You damn right it's being censored. The very first one was me talking about LED lights. Telling you how much better they were for your actual human body, because it's an LED and it's not high voltage, it's low voltage. It's like it's got a DC converter system in them to convert it to DC, which is a good thing, and it's a lower voltage, and they last longer, and they're cheaper to operate. You see my point here, folks? And then we come back over here to this, and you see the chart from 1900 to 2014, and they all go up. All go up. You see it for yourself. No one's doing it for you at all. Let's see if I can blow this up a little bit. Okay. Now, as you can see, the colors at the bottom. See it? You see it right there. Then we come back over here and look at all of them. And on up. So folks, it's really, you know, it all boils back down to, do we want to argue about who's right and who's wrong? And do we really want to argue about, hey, this is right and this is wrong? Do we really have time for that? No, we don't. Can we do anything about what they're doing? Yes, we can. There is things that they can do about the frequency. Number one, by burying high voltage power lines that would help insulate the line so it doesn't transmit towards the people, would be the first and major step. And then as far as frequency goes, learn the good frequencies that's not harmful to humans as much as the others, and have them to where they transmit in a different way than what they're doing and the power that they're using. Power, no matter what it is dangerous. Like this thing over here is off right now until the middle of March, folks. If we was to click on this right here, all of this stuff that you see green and lit up, in fact, let's just go open it, just so you'll know one more time. It is literally all red and turned off. It is actually in off mode right now. It says 0 GeV, so it means it's completely shut down. No lights, all red. Everything's off. Why that just did that, I have no idea. But that was weird. But as you see for yourself, this is generally all lit up. So is this. I don't even know what this is. This, whatever that is not doing nothing. All of this is red, even though it's showing something here, which I don't know what it is. But do you see what I'm showing you, folks? It's the same thing. Am I telling you that I know for a fact that that's what's causing earthquakes? Well, let me put it to you like this. If you think it's not causing earthquakes, okay, then you explain to me why energy is released from the earth and it creates lightning itself, which is another frequency, which is a lightning bolt, which is static going to ground. What I've just told you, folks, at one point or time in your life may and could save you or destroy you, depending on what, when, and where, and how you use it. It's entirely up to y'all. So, folks, if I, at any point in this video, have scared the hell out of you, or shocked you, or trying to make you think this is some fear porn, that's not what it is, folks. This is my opinion based on my own personal actions of things that I've experimented with and done in life and seen from my own eyes and done. That's just like the Tesla coil that created this lightning bolt as well, that you see that creates a lightning bolt at the top, and then it comes to ground. It strikes something to ground. It's the same thing, folks. But the energy is coming out of the ground that's already been created from what? The sun and electrical energy that we generate through generators and radio frequencies. It has to escape. Somehow. Is that why we've had so many more earthquakes? Not earthquakes, but yeah, earthquakes and eruptions from volcanoes to relieve the pressure. If I remember correctly, let's see if we can find it. One of them here is about earthquakes creating, okay, right here. Look here. Oklahoma earthquakes. Since 2009. Really? Been quite a bit of a jump here, wouldn't you say? You see my point here? Ain't that close to Yellowstone? Mm-hmm. You see you see what I'm saying, folks? You know that I'm telling you the truth. You know it. All of you people out there that tell me and said that ringing in my ears, what is it? What do you think it is? Some of you conspiracize with it and say that it's mind control. Some of it could be. I'm not going along with that or buying it, because I'm gonna be quite honest with you. I've had the ringing in my ear since I was a little kid, and at that time they didn't have, or at least I don't think they had. Let me rephrase that they had anything that could control your mind with frequency at that time. But they did have what? Radio transmission, television transmission, and high voltage power lines. Yeah. Some people, depending on where you live, what you do, what is around you, if you got a high voltage power line and say you got a cell tower that's close to that. Okay. Let's go back over here. All right. Now say this is, well, we know this is high voltage power line, but just say that this right here happened to be a cell tower. Okay. Now it's transmitting, it's got like it's got 6 antennas at 50 watts. That's 300 watts times 3 dB, 10 dB gain for the antenna itself, and another, that's 3,000 watts plus the height of the antenna, say it's 72 feet at the most. Okay, 100 feet. Let's just go to 100 feet. That gives you another about 10 dB gain. So you got close to 40,000 watts, or not. That's only with 6 antennas. You got more like 6,000 watts. I'm sorry. All right, you got about 6,000 watts. But now you see that this is not that far away, right? Now, this is a frequency that doesn't transmit, microwave frequency doesn't transmit line of sight, okay? It only goes as far as it can see. It's not like HF frequencies, which will travel all the way to the atmosphere. Well, this will too, but what I mean is, as far as straight out, it'll only transmit so far. Those are transmitted that way too, but they will actually transmit at an angle up into the atmosphere, and you cause a skip, and you could talk around the world. It talks further. Okay, this only talks most of the time anywhere from 25 to 30 miles at the most, and that's on a good day. But you got this high voltage power line right here. We don't know what frequency it's transmitting on, right? It's transmitting on a frequency of one source or another. Maybe one day it's transmitting on a frequency that transmits a long way. Okay. Well, let me explain this to you. Some of you guys know what riding the signal is. Radio operators, you know what riding a signal is. That's where when you go to shootouts, these guys, big muscles radios, go out to this area and they get a radio a mile away, and then two other vehicles are sitting side by side. All right. One's got a lot of power. All right. The other one's got a lot of power, but his audio and his radio is super crystal clear. The other guy's is just jacked up so nobody can hear nothing but him. That's what he thinks. But he's got way more power than the other guy. Like this is way more power than this. So they're on the same frequency though. This is two different frequencies, but it's the same aspect. The guy both of them key up, and one of them they say 1, 2, 3 over and over again. And the guy with the little power, his signal jumps on his signal, rides the signal with him down there, and his clear, exactly desirable audio is perfect. Rides down there, and that guy on the other end with that receiver hears him and doesn't hear the other guy. He hears him, but can't understand him, which makes it sound as if the little guy with the little radio, with the little power, is just stomping him. But in fact, it's the other guy's signal he's riding. Because his is so distorted and all over the place. His is not. It's crystal clear and sounds perfect. So it rides the nasty audio and covers it up. Same aspect with this. This transmits to the high voltage power line. The high voltage power line at one point or another may be transmitting further away, which may be causing your ringing in your ears, which is causing you to feel disoriented in whatever aspect is bothering you. Now, this has been a very long video. I'm sorry, but to explain this to y'all, it has to be done this way. You know, I'm tired of people saying that they know these things about this or that when they really, I guess, really don't. This, in a fact, right here, is proof to you that what I'm telling you is the only explanation for. What else is it? You going to try to tell me it's climate change? Climate change has been here since the earth started, folks. But what did we not have before this point? Electricity. Did we have climate change then too? Yes. Had it calmed down? Yeah. It was more even like this. Did we have upticks like this? Yes. Sure we did. Multiple times, different times. More carbon, less carbon. All kinds of different things for generations. And generations. and centuries, whatever you want to call them, hundreds and hundreds of years. Climate change has been here since day one. Is it always going to be here? Yes, it is. To do away with carbon, is that going to cure it? No. You know why? Because if you got rid of all the carbon, then your trees would die. And if the trees die, then guess what happens to you? Do you have any idea? If the trees die, there's no oxygen. Then you die. The water becomes stagnant. You die. The planet dies. Climate change is always going to be here, folks. Always. It's always been here. It's always going to be here. Now, I spoke long enough, talked long enough. I'm sorry it took this long to get this far. But anyway, I hope you understand it. I hope you stick around and watch the whole video. From my cold dead hands, abolish corporate government for your freedoms. I damn well mean that. And this is just one more reason why. They're doing it to you and lying while you're dying. And they're telling you that it's cigarettes that is causing it. It's only the chemicals that they put in the cigarette and the frequency that they hit you with. Much love.